Hello, everybody. It's Heather Nichols here, and I am super inspired and wanted to make this video. I just finished the first call of my Generative Business Pods program that just kicked off today again. And we had the topic of this particular 6 months is on being the gift of profit. We had some really amazing conversations about that. One of the things we were talking about is, in general, just trying to get people to understand you. And people that are drawn to these types of conversations, and if you're watching this video, you may be somebody that is simply different. And a lot of times we make our difference our wrongness rather than our greatness. And it just all depends on your perspective and how you see you and how you see the difference that you are. It's so easy to judge our difference and make it like see it as a disability rather than actually see it as something that allows us to create a greater future. And one of the things that I've had some conversations about today is about marketing. And marketing is one of those things that, there's all these formulas and this is how you do it and this is what you're supposed to do and this is what you're supposed to say and you talk to the pain points and blah, blah. And that is never, for me, it's never resonated. It's never felt like something I really wanted to do. Even when I've sort of tried it, it's gotten very old very fast. And marketing can be one of those places where we feel like we have to show up in some way that is understandable to others, because people will only hire you or buy your service or your product or whatever if they understand you and they understand it. And what if that wasn't true? What if it was more about the energy that you are being that is the invitation to somebody? And you could sell vacuum cleaners if you're being something really, really dynamic, a gift to people. So it doesn't have to be that you're in the business of consciousness or change or transformation or growth. And yet this is a conversation that is very common with people that help others in those ways. What if people did not actually need to understand you, even understand what it is that you do, in order for them to engage with your products and services? What if you didn't even need to understand you, but you could actually acknowledge who you are as a being, like the energy that you are, the energy that you be, the future that you are creating, the grace that you move through the world with, the things that you know that nobody else knows, the futures that you've been creating for a long time. So many of us have this energetic way of being and creating, and you may not even realize it. I know I didn't until I found the tools of Access Consciousness and then started really looking from a different point of view at all of it and at myself. And still to this day, I have to remind myself to acknowledge what I have created, because so much of it is like the gifts that I've been to other people, how I've changed other people's lives, how I've changed their futures. They ultimately are the ones that change their lives, but I can facilitate that and contribute to that. And it's one of those things when I look at the word profit and the energy of profit isn't about the money that's left over after the bills are paid. Profit is really the acknowledgement of a future that you're creating, the gift that you are in the world, the change that you create. And that is something that is so invalidated right and left in our world. It's not something that, you're not successful if you just create a lot of change and create a lot of contribution in the world and contribute to a greater future. In our world, that's not seen as successful. The only thing that's seen as successful is how much money you make and what you have and all the material stuff and, how many clients you have or whatever. And it's there at every turn for us to get distracted by that conversation and those judgments, and for us to actually go, judge ourselves and be like, right, I don't have as many clients or as much money or whatever. And as soon as you go there, you turn on yourself. Basically, you go to judgment of you judge everything you've created, you diminish all of it, and you don't get to receive the gift of the prophet that you actually are, the acknowledgement of what it is that you are that's different, what you contribute that's different, what you create that's different. So I want to just invite you to really start to see you and who you are in the world and how you move in the world in a really different way. And also start to consider that your success, even more than you might have seen before, but that your success is so much more about who you are and what it is that you can contribute that is so unique to you. And that if you have any sort of struggles with marketing, or getting people to understand you, it's like, if you have the acknowledgement of that and you know what you're up to, what you contribute, what you've changed, if you know, then it becomes this energy that is this pull. It's this like viral pull in a way of like inviting and drawing people into your world, and they will come in to be part of whatever it is that you're doing. But it's not because you've marketed to them correctly. It's that you are willing to be something different and acknowledge what you are and acknowledge what you gift to the world. Nobody has to get it. And yet it's this energy that when you be it, it just draws people in. And that's just so much, that's the world I wish to live in. And I do in a lot of ways for my own choice and, what I am and what I surround myself with. But it's also, it's a very different choice. It requires a lot of courage. It requires you to be super different. And I know there are, the people out there that watch my videos, that's more of who I'm speaking to. This definitely won't speak to everybody, and that's okay. So I hope it was a contribution to you. The Generative Business Pods is still open for registration. Probably will close registration around March 12th or 13th. And we already had our first call. It was phenomenal. There's some calls we've been doing around going beyond fear that are also included in the pods. And yeah, you are invited, if this speaks to you in some way, to join us. And you can go to heathernichols.com/businesspods if you would like to find out more.